Reporting live from Dragonstone, Bela Targaryen here, to tell you that a new Monat versus Toni Van Schwoit versus Monat Global Corp Inc.'s LLC Incorporated, totally not a pyramid scheme, has just dropped. When you try to look like Daenerys, but you literally look like Bela. Or do I look like Rhaena? I don't remember which is which. Anyways, in the books, they look exactly the same. And I'm a book girly. I'm just a lady with a bulldog, camera, and too many opinions. Now, to give you a little recap, or you could just go watch the previous videos that we've done about Toni Van Schwoit, who was the first Monat market partner that there ever was. Literally the first sales employee person. Allegedly, she had been asking questions about how the Monat commission plan had been changing in a way that was decreasing her commission and the commission of her downline. And she was met with being shunned by leadership, told to, quote, get in line, and really just pretty typical cult tactics. And there has been yet another filing that it's a lot. It's a lot. So right here, and you know what? I'll link it below as well. But right here we have the second amended complaint from Toni Van Schwoit, and it basically goes over all of the other information, stating that she was the first market partner, one of the original 11, so to speak, and that 98% of all of Monat market partners were in her downline, since of course she was the first market partner, the first distributor, the first salesperson for Monat, and she's been in it since its inception in 2014. So she goes on to explain how she was fired, when she was fired, how long she was in the company, what she did in the company as well. And of course, since she was the first market partner and there since the beginning, it can be typical for someone who is one of the founding distributors in an MLM to have more than just a normal sales role, and they can really be an integral part of the organization itself. And it really does seem like that is the case with this situation and her employment with Monat. I really do be looking like blonde Hagrid right now because you can't see the rest of my body. Let's be honest, if I stand up, I'm still gonna look like blonde Hagrid. Now, we have seen multiple market partners with Monat who are at the top of the company, and especially people who have been in almost just as long as Toni Van Schwoit, be, how do you say, extremely embarrassing. Some of them have gotten Monat tattoos. Some of them have said things like, I'm going down with the ship if it sinks. A lot of them have been extremely misogynistic, brainwashed, very culty, very obviously unethical. That goes without saying, in my opinion. And of course, I'm not a lawyer. None of this is legal advice. This is just my understanding of the entire situation, and I could be completely wrong. So some of the interesting parts here is that 15 on page 4 that says that Daddy and Baby Monat, as we know, Louis and not Ron, what's his name? Ray Urdaneta are the actual founders and owners of Monat, and the president and I believe vice president of Monat, CEO, whatever. And it says they took Van Schwoit's Monat founders' shares and perpetual profit sharing for themselves. So that's the thing here too, is if you want to know anything about the Monat founders' shares, all of them that they've ever had, the new ones that they came out with, the ones that they had a few years ago, please go watch the multiple videos that I've made on that, because it's crazy. It's very interesting. It's very important, I think, to actually get the facts and have that math broken down for you. And also, what a lot of people have been saying lately, which is false, is that with these new market partner founder share program, bonus pool, whatever, is that it's for life. No, it's not. No, it is not. It is not for life, and it does not say that anywhere in the fine print for the company. However, I feel like that's maybe where they get away with it. You're just promising all this, but then in the fine print, it doesn't mention that at all. And it's like, okay, well, that's not it really doesn't matter what he told you or what they told you, because it doesn't say it in the document you signed. But in these documents specifically, this filing, it does say that multiple times that it was explained to her that these legacy shares, which was the first round of Monat market partner founder shares, were going to be for life. And obviously, as we can see, they're not. And I think that's really important. They kept all of that for themselves, the higher ups of the company, and then that they gave away her entire downline of market partners to the market partners who were the most obedient to Daddy and Baby Monat. She ate. And then it says, namely, Julie Stevens. I always want to call her Jewelry Stevens. So Jewelry Stevens, Natalie Richardson. That lady sucks. I mean, all three of these women just absolutely are the worst. But I feel like that Natalie Richardson lady really sucks from what I've heard from a lot of people and my own opinion. And then Ann Fisher. Ann Fisher is pretty insufferable too. And it's really funny too, because this is not me making fun of anyone's looks. I promise you. But it's interesting to see the aesthetic, so to speak, of these women who are at the very top, profiting off of everyone and aren't very front facing. And then the people who were like, oh yeah, no, that girl's in Monat. Or like, oh yeah, that girl's the Jacqueline Ortegas, right? Like, all those girls look the same. And then all of the people at like the very top of Monat are, when I want to like tread lightly saying this because I don't want it to come off like me saying like, hey, it's all these old boomers. But it really seems like it's like these older boomers at the very top of the company. And I mean, I guess, but it is interesting how it's them at the very top and they weren't really the ones that were front facing. And the people below them who made them super rich, because that's how a downline works, are the ones who were all over social media and all that. Maybe it's because the younger ones know how to work social media better and, it's easier for them to gain more of a following. I don't know, but I just find that so interesting. All right, so then it says, Van Schoit has been severely damaged by defendants and seeks relief. So then there's basically a book report about Monat when it started recruiting market partners, the, companies that the Erdenetta's own, and then also how it says Monat's original market partners were promised Monat founders shares in Monat and perpetual profit sharing. Perpetuity. Obviously, it goes further on to explain that as well. I love when filings like this, really any filing, a lot of the time, it's like, explain it to me like I'm 5. Basically. So Monat is a multi-level marketing company. And then on page 8 of this, it actually goes over like the FTC and what the FTC says about MLMs and how they are occasionally illegal pyramid schemes, selling family and friends into your downline. What is a downline? And then I do love that it does explain Toni's relationship with Monat as well. Like I said, it is a little bit different than other just, your average market partner. And it says that she was the first one of the 11 original. I always thought it was 8, but I guess it's 11. So says this. And it says that she was the first in the $1 million club, which is crazy. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, that just means they sold $1 million. No, that's not what it means. In Monat specifically, I know with, other sales companies, it can mean that. But with Monat specifically, it means $1 million since you started in the organization. $1 million in commission has been paid out to you. And no, that does not mean that you are a millionaire. Toni and her husband are, but So as I said before, she really had more of not a corporate role, but really establishing marketing materials and things like that. As it says here on page 9, it says, number 52, she helped Monat create its branding, marketing materials, training materials, and policies before Monat even had a website, which is crazy. And then it says that Monat still uses those materials or a variation of them to this day, and that she's been instrumental in Monat's launch and success. I'd say that's pretty safe to say as someone who is at the very top of the company. And then, of course, here it says, as they've been saying previously before, that 89% of Monat market partners were in Toni's downline, tens of thousands of people. That is wild. And what's interesting too is, of course, y'all have heard me say it many times. I love that they're exposing a lot of this stuff, but also they played a huge part in this and then still do play a part in the ridiculousness and the chaos machine, so to speak, that is multi-level marketing, as they have gone to another multi-level marketing company, one that many people in that company claim that their products can cure autism. As an autismo, I don't need to be cured. You wish you were this cool. You're boring. I do obviously want to acknowledge that. I acknowledge that quite a bit whenever I talk about this specific situation. But I do think it's just super interesting how the point that Toni and her husband Jay were at within Monat, having 98% of the company underneath you, making $15 million plus within the decade that you were in the company. That is what people dream of. And yes, she did work a lot. I understand that. She did have other investments, thank God, and she worked on those a good bit too, I believe. Toni wasn't someone who was super front-facing with social media. She was not someone who, comparatively speaking to other people in the industry, she wasn't someone who was working every single second of every single day on this specifically. Toni is someone who, yes, did have the time freedom that these people talk about. You're really only getting that if you are at that position. And there is a less than 1 in a million chance that you're going to be able to get to that level. I honestly would not be surprised if she was never able to get to that level in an MLM ever again, or like recreate that, because that's crazy. Not saying she'll never get to the top of an MLM again or be able to make that amount of money again, but meaning that level of influence within the MLM and having that amount of income off of the people below her while not having to be super front facing. Like the dream of like, oh, I'm just going to sit back I'm just going to sit back and let my downline do the work, basically. Not saying she didn't work, but hopefully you kind of smell what I'm stepping in here. One thing that I do think is super interesting here is whenever Monat girly pops are, we can't call them girly pops. That's not who they are. Whenever the boss babes, especially with Monat, but with any MLM typically in this industry, say like, I got to go on this free trip or paid for it, blah, blah, blah. And what do we always say? It's a work trip. I would hope they pay for you to go. I would hope that they do that. I would hope that accounts payable is like booking your stuff. Okay. Like, what are you talking about? That's not how that works, obviously, for them. But this says, number 61 here, it says, Van Schuyt further helped grow Monat by regularly traveling throughout the United States and internationally at the direct request of Ray Urdaneta and Louis Urdaneta, recruiting and training market partners. Plaintiff paid for her own travel and accommodations. What? And obviously, like, yeah, it's a business expense for her, but wouldn't you think that Monat would be paying for it if they're asking her to go? Like, excuse me, sir? Not how that works. And then one thing that I also do think is entertaining that it says here on the end of page 10, it says number 64, Van Schuyt also earned the title of Senior Executive Director of Monat. You mean the top rank in the compensation plan? And then it says, in this role, Van Schuyt was involved in the direct management of Monat. What's that mean? Girl, what are you talking about? Along with Urdaneta and Urdaneta, which sounds like a law firm, and Monat's then CEO, Stuart McMillan. Again, just driving home the fact that she wasn't just a market partner. Like, she wasn't just a 1099 employee. She had a lot of responsibilities. She did a lot to build up this company. So I think that's really the point that they're trying to have the judge see here. Now this part, hold on to your anus, because dear God, this made mine pucker. Van Schuyt was highly compensated. At certain times, Van Schuyt was paid more than $200,000 per month by Monat. Who? And I mean who? When Monat was threatening to sue me, they did not like that I said what I'm about to say, but also them. Who needs that much money? What? That is crazy. $200,000 per month. And then we go into the promises of the founder's shares, right? So it says, in addition to her commission payments from her sales, these sales were downline and recruiting people. Don't forget that. She received profit sharing payments from Monat as a result of her ownership of Monat's founder's shares. Between September 2014, just before Monat launched, and then September 2015, they had recruited a good amount of people into Monat, the main top people, and they were offering them the founders shares. So it was a good way to get them in, I guess. 11 market partners received founders shares with up to 3 per person. And then it says that they were referred to as Monat legacy shares. And then it says the message, the Urdanetas individually and in their capacities as owners. So like on a personal level, and then also professionally, as owners of Alcora, which is the parent company of Monat, which they also own, and Monat delivered to prospective market partners, including Toni Van Schuyt, was that if they became market partners at the time of Monat's founding, they would be a part of the founders. Again, just creating the narrative, laying the base, so to speak, that, hey, she wasn't just a salesperson. Like, they said that she was more. And again, just my opinion, I'm not illegal anything at all. I'm just an idiot with a wig on and a bulldog snoring in the corner, right? So like I said, I think they're trying to build this foundation, so to speak, and narrative of like, yeah, she wasn't just a salesperson. She was like a more integral part of this company. They told Toni that becoming an early market partner meant that she would own shares of Monat for life. And that's so interesting because when they've been marketing recently, the more recent visionary founders pool shares, a lot of people have been saying that as well. The market partners have been marketing it as that, like you would get it for life. But then market partners that I've talked to, I'm like, where did you hear that from? Because that's not in any of the official documents. That's like that. It's not true, but like, where are you getting this from? And a lot of them have said, my upline said it. And then, Ray Urdaneta said it too. He said that, you get this for life. And it's like, well, that's a lie. Qualify for it and then leave and see if you ever get that. That would make the company go bankrupt so quickly if that was the case. Like, that's literally not possible. It's not how that works. Ask Toni Van Schuyt, because I can guarantee you she's not receiving those at all. All right, so then it goes on to say that she was a Monat legacy founder and she received Monat founders shares. So I love that they are really just talking about the verbiage here and how vague, not only vague, but how it really, to me, and like I've been saying for a while, is just so purposefully misleading. It's so, because it's exactly what it sounds like. It sounds like profit shares, but that's not what it is. So then it says that she took an enormous career risk based on those promises and joined the company, and that she received 3 founder shares of like the first pool, and then I believe it was 3 shares and then 3 extra shares from the emerging founders pool. So she had 6 shares total. It's a lot. It's a lot of money. From the documents that I have, it looks like it was about, one of the payouts was $22,000. That's forking crazy. I believe that was in 2002 or 2001. I can't remember. But yeah, that's a crazy amount. No one these days is getting that. All right. And then it goes further to talk about how many founder shares she has and how valuable they were, and how they were more valuable than like $19,000, especially when it pertains to the revenue that they were having at that time. So then on page 14 here, I believe this is one of the ones that I screenshotted. Yeah, it is. And it says she trusted that she was being paid accurately for her shares, even though she was told that she was an owner of these shares in Monat and an executive of Monat. She was never given access to Monat's financials or confident business records. And then it says early in 2024, Ray Urdaneta spoke to Monat market partners via video conference and explained, if you are one of the few that saw the vision in 2014 and believe in the vision of Monat, then nobody knew what it was. Well, when it was an experiment, you are a legacy founder. I got a question. The fork does that mean, Raymond? Ray told market partners that one Monat founder's share, doesn't say which one because there's 3 different pools, was worth about $15,000. Not true, not in this day and age. While he continues to imply that owners of these shares will own part of the company, which again, we know that is not true. They are still perpetuating this. Around the same time in early 2024, and to this day, Ray Urdaneta states that Monat is on track to become $1 billion company. No, it's not. No, it's not. Monat has intentionally undervalued. It is on track to become $1 billion company, as Ray Urdaneta proclaims it is. Then 6 Monat shares must be worth far more than $15,000 each, or $90,000 total. I mean, yeah, that's how maths. And then if Monat had over $35 million in profit in 2020, which it did, then in 2020, 6 Monat shares must be worth far more than $90,000. Either way, Van Schuyt never received payments from Monat valuing her shares at $90,000. Van Schuyt has not received proper payment from Monat for her ownership of 6 shares. In May 2024, when Monat terminated Van Schuyt, Monat took away her 6 shares and stopped paying her based on her ownership of these shares. Oh, so they're not for life? Is that what you're saying? Is that like they're not for life? And then it just keeps going down. It's about the commission, how it's decreased over time, and it's changed, and they say it hasn't changed, but it clearly has. So you can read through that, but I thought the founder share part was absolutely crazy. And there's one more part that I want to read because I need to find this recording, because Dear God. On page 23 here, it says Urdaneta also used his agents, which, like, girl, are they assassins? What? Including Fisher, Richardson, and Stevens, the people we talked about earlier, the boomers, to label Van Schoik as a crazy person who was spreading misinformation and could not be trusted. Typical cult tactic. She was working for a competitor of Money, which it doesn't seem like she was actively working for a competitor at all. And also, they always say that Monat doesn't have any competition. So it's like, which is it? What is true there? What are you talking about? Now, this is crazy. So it says April 27th, 2024. And I feel like if they have this listed in here, they have to have a copy of this. If anyone wants to anonymously send this recording to me, for the love of God, please do. Please, please. If it just happens to, you know, be put in my mailbox. Don't do that. That's creepy, but metaphorically, digitally. So April 27th, 2024, Fisher, one of the boomers, no offense to boomers, love ya, but this lady sucks, hosted a Zoom conference with Monat's Rev Squad team. What does that mean? A group of market partners at Monat. On the Zoom conference, several alarming things were said, including but not limited to what is referenced below. Fisher said she loves the Urdaneta family. She is very close with Ray, and she is loyal to Monat. Monat was sent to her as an answer to a prayer from God. She will fiercely defend Monat, the brand. Monat will always protect the Monat brand. Yeah, it doesn't care about you. It cares about the business because it's a company. For her, it's all about the money and her paychecks, and she does not care about the allegations that Monat's products are unsafe. If Monat, independent contractor market partners believe they were not paid their proper commissions, they should shut up and work harder. Monat's independent contractor market partners should never be critical of Monat on social media and block anyone that is critical of Monat on social media. Insert picture of CC Suarez here. And then Jewelry Stevens said she stands with Monat. She does not want to work for anyone but the Urdaneta family. Like, it's not even about Monat anymore. It's about the leaders, right? It's crazy. God has his hands on Monat, and God needs Monat's independent contract market partners to rise up for Monat. You're not going to war. What are you doing? And then it says the Zoom ended with a prayer in which was stated that Satan is attacking Monat and God must protect Monat. Monat was referred to as God's perfect mansion that thieves are trying to break into. Girl, what? Y'all are unlocking the doors. It's not a mansion. It's a lean-to. It's a cardboard cutout of a mansion, and then there's just an outhouse behind it, and you know. It was asked that the blood of Christ be over their businesses. That sounds not sanitary. It's shampoo, you guys. What are you doing? As a result of her suspension and termination, she lost compensation, commission, blah, blah, lost her downline, and all of that went to Stevens, Richardson, and Fisher. No wonder they're sucking the evil teat of the Urdanetas. All right, so that's it. And then it goes into counts and claims and all that. But that is crazy. The blood of Christ? You want his blood in your shampoo bottles? Y'all are weird. Y'all say I'm weird. Y'all are weird. That's crazy. Dear God, we need to find that Zoom call because wow. We need to find that, and then we'll make it a drinking game. Every time I feel extremely uncomfortable, I'll take a sip. I'll just be hooked up to an IV by the end. Okay, I'll see you in my next video. If you are subscribed, your butt looks good. I appreciate you so much. I will see you when I see you. How do I end these videos? I don't know. Your butt looks good if you're subscribed. If you're not, you're dead to me. Follow the podcast. Follow my Instagram down below. If you have that video, for the love of God, I will smooch you so hard if you send it to me. Okay, bye.